brought up that way. It makes them feel nice. They come, they worship Shiva, they go home. And I understand that. But for those people who have an interest in a deeper knowledge, we're here. You know, a lot of people too, even in India, when they look to spirituality, I call it emotional indulgence. They don't really want knowledge and depth. They want to feel things flow and pretty music, and so look at the guru and his robes are flowing and it's all beautiful, you know. But it's the deeper knowledge that very few people really open to. But it's the fruit of life, you know.
That is what your original objective of starting this Soma, right?
Mm.
So, is it your latest knowledge that it is more difficult than what you thought to spread whatever you feel like doing?
Yeah.
So,
I remember when I left the ashram, I thought I would just go out and give a lecture and everybody would stand up and cheer and that'd be it. No, I remember people got angry, you know. They get angry. And so I had to understand, and I'm still learning, but you understand how to speak in a way that doesn't upset people. Because people don't want to hear that they don't understand it or that maybe there's a deeper understanding than what they have. They want to be told, you know, that, oh, yes, you understand and it's all wonderful and we're all on our way to heaven and it's all beautiful. And that's all true, but nevertheless, there is a tempering of the steel that has to happen. There's discernment. Adi Shankara called the spiritual path the path of discernment. There's neti, 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 you know, not that, not that, not that. But no, people don't want to hear not that, not that, not that. They want to hear that, you know. Yeah.
a lot of Hare Rama, Hare Krishna
Mm.
temples in the United States. How
Uh,
do you distinguish yourself?
I don't know a lot about, if I think you're probably talking about the Hare Krishna movement. I don't know, just quite honestly, I don't know a whole lot about them other than that the things I've seen feel a little strange to me. You know, it feels a little, so. And I wouldn't be surprised, I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if the original guru there was a great enlightened person. I don't know. But what's going on around that seems a little strange. And I've heard stories, but I don't want to repeat them or anything because I don't know. And I'm sure there are stories about me, you know. So,
It's good to know you admit that you don't know certain things. I think
yeah.
a lot of leaders would not want to admit.
Yeah. I remember I saw an interview of Billy Graham once, the Christian leader, and he was asked a question, and he said he didn't know. And I thought, what a wonderful thing, you know, to hear that. We should all. I remember my grandfather even once said that the safest words you can ever say to anything is, I don't know.
Yes, sir. Yeah, just further expanding on your original intention of doing all these things to spread your Vedic knowledge,
Mm.
and you are seeing that it's more difficult than what you originally thought.
Yeah, I thought everybody would stand up and cheer.
Exploring the ways to spread knowledge, or you are giving up on that.
No, it's all I do is try. Put something out, see what comes back, adjust accordingly. Put something else out, see what comes back, adjust accordingly.
But you are not in the thought process of giving up on that.
Not for a second. Not for a second. No. What else is there? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Sell soft pretzels? Go sit on the beach? No. There's nothing else to, for me, there's nothing else to do. There's nothing else to do.
And do you think you groom people like you eventually? Those who have the same interest, those who want to do the same thing what you are doing to expand yourself into multiple.
I am, when I look around at the people that are in the school and keep coming to the school, I'm very gratified. You know, from within my own self, I knew it worked. It has to work. This is going to work. But the proof is in the pudding. You know, the proof is the people and how they change through the years and how well it works. You know, and the only thing that makes me sad is that we could spread it to so many more people. Yeah, and even my students say, this is so good, it's such a shame so few people hear it, you know, when there's a whole world of billions of people out there, you know.
Yeah, I think I'm going back to another, like how much you conquered your own anger, excitement or tension or stress. Are you growing or are you still think you need to conquer more?
There's no end.
No.
There is no end. There is no end. My most recent is with, you get deeper relationships with everything over time. And recently, the whole thing with the rishis, my relationship with the rishis has deepened so much. And the rishis, when things like that happen, the rishis for a while, they were everything, It's all about the rishis, that's how it seems. And there will be more, always more openings,
So you are constantly in touch with rishis?
Anytime anybody thinks of the rishis, they're there. Maybe not everybody knows it.
Can you further elaborate? I did not get it.
If you think, right now you're thinking of the rishis, so they're there.
And you can interact.
To varying degrees, yes. Everybody can. But it gets intimate, It gets very intimate. But to me, the rishis are let's put it this way: the rishi value, the quality of the knower, is at every point in creation. And as you evolve, that value awakens within your own being more and more fully. It's not that you become a rishi, but that rishi value, which is within all of us, gets enlivened. And you feel like you're a rishi.
Can you define rishi?
Yeah, well, a rishi is a seer, an orchestrator. We have all the laws of nature, which you could say are the gods, the devas. But then we have the rishis that take those principles, if you will, and they're the upholders of dharma in creation. And so they have a very important role in creation. And it's you could almost say like if the Veda is like an orchestra, the rishi is the leader of the band. But see that as it interfaces with the world like that, But when you first experience as your relationship with the rishis becomes deeper and deeper, all these things are like water getting cooler, then it turns to ice. And there's a moment there when all of a sudden it's like, boom, all of a sudden the rishi value becomes so much more lively in your life. And in that moment, it's like the rishis seem like everything. Why do we I said to Pandeyji once, I said, I don't mean to sound disrespectful of the gods or anything, but the way I'm feeling right now is, why do we even worship the gods? Why don't we worship the rishis? It's kind of like that. If you give me space there, I don't want to offend anybody, and I worship the gods, like that. But nevertheless, trying to describe how things unfold, what it feels like.
Another name for the nameless God.
They're the seers, and we're all God, including the rishis, Yeah, but see, the rishis are the ones that cognized Veda. So they're an essential part of the structure of Veda itself. Like that, yeah.
If you look at the karma theory and also the human beings, do we have any control of what we are doing all our life?
With respect to karma? Yeah, I talked about this in detail this morning, in fact. But there's karma and there's free will. And as you evolve, you tap more and more into your free will. And so then you can work with your karma. This is the world of karma. But at the depth of your being, you're free. And so it's how you bring that. Yeah. And the more you evolve, the more free will you have, the more control you have. But yeah.
So with free will, you think we can change our karma, result of our karma?
You can deal with it more constructively, more artfully. Less painfully. It's like the difference between when somebody's throwing a punch and they stand there and get hit, versus somebody who's a martial artist and just goes with the flow and everything just unfolds nicely.
With free will, we can learn martial arts and protect ourselves from the punch.
Like that. That's right. You can't. Or you can orchestrate life to move in a very positive direction. No worry about the punches, but enjoyment of the fruit.
Some people believe that it is better to go through the pain, let it have more pain so that I'll have better life in the next life.
It's stupid. No. Yeah. No, you deal with your.
Any of you wanted to have any questions? Let's make it free now.
Yeah. Anything else? Yeah. See, when the karma will unravel. It will unfold. It will be delivered, but you can learn to deal with it artfully. If a car's driving down the freeway, that's your karma, but you have free will enough to just step out of the way. Karma was delivered. The car went by, but you didn't get run over. You see.
Yeah, but when it comes to karma, I debate with him. It's only Hindu philosophy, right? How the
No. The horsehair shirts from the Christian monks, they would wear horsehair shirts because they hurt. I'm getting rid of my karma. They'd use different words, but that's what they were doing. They didn't use the word karma. I forget the word they used. What? Sin. Yeah, sin. There you go. Easy. Sin. Yeah.
sin is part of only this life, right? Not carried away from the previous life.
No, it's carried on. It's carried on.
Even Islam also is like that?
I don't know Islam much about it. Maybe, probably. If you look deep enough, yes.
So when we talk about the creation, so how do you explain why somebody is born as human being and why somebody is born as animal and why somebody is born as plants?
Karma.
All the
Karma. Yeah.
if you do good deeds, then you're born as human being, or if you do bad deeds, you're born as animals?
More or less. But I mean, you can have very evolved animals. Even it says in Yoga Vasishtha, there's such a thing, conceivably, as an enlightened mosquito. I mean, don't count on it, but but by and large, as we evolve, we go into a more evolved species. But I think we might all feel that there's some animals that are more evolved than some people. It's all bell curves and probabilities.
Christianity answers this, like why it's like animal, why I'm born as a human.
I'm sure the knowledge is there deep. If you ask Jesus, I'm sure you'd have a good answer. But I don't see the answers to those things in a lot of religions. See, what Hinduism does have that the other religions don't is the cognition, the Vedic cognitions. What they do with them, sometimes they get ridiculous, sometimes they're right on, but at least they have those cognitions, from the rishis, pure knowledge, But see, even that, people misunderstand the Veda. They think that, I'm going to translate the Veda and this is what it means. But all that is in the language of nature, not in the language of man. Every syllable of Veda is pregnant with knowledge and reaches out and encompasses all other branches of the Veda. And I've done this. You take a verse out of the Veda and you give it to a handful of different Vedic scholars and pundits. They'll all translate it differently. And you might say, well, that means they don't understand it. No. That means there's so much knowledge there. And depending, you can pull out so many different things. And all the Vedas like that,
So they say that men are from Mars and women are from Venus. So how do you marry that with psychology and human beings and religion? Because women has a certain nature and behavior, men have a certain nature and behavior.
Yeah.
So that psychology explains that in different facets.
Right.
So
I was just thinking of this one saint from India, and he said, men and women are so different. He says it's a wonder they can even communicate. But I was trying to somehow weave that into political correctness, and I can't do it. And again, all things are bell curves. So you have the tendency for women, here you have the tendency for men, and there's an overlap in there. And we need to honor that. And I tell you, I think that's why this transsexual thing has become popular. It's because we don't honor that. And so somebody says, well, I'm more feminine than I am, I'd rather do things that girls do, even though I'm in a male body, than so maybe I need to change my gender or something. No, we need to expand our understanding of what it means to be male and what it means to be female, and honor that, respect that. It's not a narrow little thing, it's a bell curve. Some are way out on this end of the bell curve, some are way out on the end of that end of the bell curve. Most of us are in here. Respect that, Yeah. Because people get confused. They get confused, Life isn't black and white. It's all pastels. Like that.
Any other questions?
Can you give the vision of Mount Soma, like what we're trying to do here at Mount Soma?
Yeah, we want to create a community that brings out the full potential of Vedic knowledge and its ability to heal life. And then we can build Mount Somas on every continent and spread that knowledge. The knowledge is there, again, to heal the planet. And Mount Soma is here to bring that knowledge out. There is no need for all this stuff. It's unbelievable. Can you imagine if there weren't any wars just in the past 300 years? And all that effort we put into wars, we put into helping people? There would be no suffering. There would be no famine. There would be no nothing. And it's all because of just lack of wakefulness, lack of awareness to the grandeur of who it is we really are. We're not living in harmony with nature. And even what people think harmony with nature is, it's ridiculous. I'm going to live in harmony with nature, so I'm not going to use electricity and I'm going to go barefoot. No, that's not. You can live in harmony with nature and be in a high-rise in downtown Manhattan. And so people need to understand what it means and how to cultivate it. Number one is proper meditation. There are meditations, all kinds of meditations out there. There are meditations how to control the mind. There are meditations how to make it rain. There are meditations how to program the mind, how to hypnotize the mind. But you want a meditation that allows the awareness to rest into its own true divine nature. And the whole physiology follows, you see? And those meditations are extremely rare. Why? Because most people are looking for quick fixes. Oh, I'm smoking, so how can I stop smoking? And do this meditation, you'll stop smoking. They do the meditation, they stop smoking. Now, I found the right meditation. No. You can hypnotize yourself to stop smoking. You can hypnotize yourself to rest, but if you take your pulse, it's went up. So what we're talking about is a meditation that's real and natural and facilitates the physiology to rest into its own true nature, which is divine.
Meditation includes breathing also.
There are pranayama, breath techniques, but the best meditation is the meditation that allows the breath to normalize in a natural manner. You see, not to try to tell the breath how it's going to be when it's normal. You see?
Through meditation we can learn that technique.
To learn the meditation technique is easy, and the purpose of meditation is to reach the transcendental state where the awareness just naturally gravitates to its depth, to the wakefulness of the transcendental level of your being, which is the source of all the intelligence and creativity and harmony that infuses the whole physiology with health. You see? And that meditation is a natural process. You see? It's a natural process. And the transcendental state is natural. You see, we have a technique whereby we go to sleep. You get under the covers, put your head on the pillow, close your eyes, you go to sleep. It's a technique. But sleep isn't a technique. Sleep is a natural state. Same with proper meditation. Proper meditation enables the physiology, prepares the physiology so that you go into that natural transcendental state. And by doing that and then going into activity, you integrate it with activity, back and forth, so the time comes when you are in that state of restful alertness, that transcendental state, even in the deepest activity. That's called enlightenment, you see, cosmic consciousness. But these things are cultured. The physiology is cultured. But what do? They try to program the mind to think it's restful, or that or to think it's expanded, and it puts more stress in the physiology. If you take the stress out through proper meditation, release the stress, then the physiology normalizes. It becomes, what's normal? Enlightenment. You see? That's how that works.
You mentioned you want a Mount Soma on every continent.
Mm.
Do you have a timeline for the Mount Soma in the United States, and what are the biggest obstacles in manifesting?
Yeah. The Sapati came here from India, and we showed him all our plans about the temples we want to build, and he says, when do you want this built by? And I said, yesterday. The world needs it. The world needs it right away. What are the obstacles? There's only one obstacle: money. Money, we'd start construction right away. So we're working, we're doing things. I think we'll have the money, and I think construction probably start not this summer, but next summer. Not the summer coming up, but the one after. You know. I think a year and a half we'll start. We'll be doing some construction leading up to that. But,
What construction?
well, the next thing we need to do is we're going to build a road to get to North Asheville in 30 minutes instead of an hour. You know, we have some roads and things that we want to do, and then we can start to prepare the site for where the temple is going to go. All these things take time. They take money, you know. Yeah. Who was it that said that money is the closest thing in the relative to the absolute? Yeah.
So your question answered fully, or no?
Yeah.
You wanted about next other continents?
I'm ready for that next temple and other continents. But
Yeah. We had something going with Africa, but I don't know what the status on that is. I haven't heard much about it. But maybe, you know, if that worked, Africa could be done before the United States. We'll see what happens.
So do you think India also needs this? Or
Yeah.
they already have it?
You know, it's really funny. I'll see. There's a lot to say about that. That's a long question. It struck me, and initially with disbelief, when the Stapati said there's no other temple in the world like the one we want to build. It's completely perfect, Vastu and all like that. I said, how can that be? I'm embarrassed to even say it out loud. It seems disrespectful or sacrilegious. I said, all these incredible temples, some of them hundreds of millions of dollars. He said, no, somewhere along the line they don't do it, you know. I regret saying that, you know, because it just, to me, it feels disrespectful. And I've gone to these temples in India, and they're so incredible. They're so powerful. So it's not to diminish them, but just to give a vision of the potential of what they represent. They represent a potential that we can heal the whole planet. So if there's any suffering anywhere on the world, we could say something's not right with the temples. We could say it that way. As wonderful, as incredible as they are, something's not right. It's right in the Veda. This is the potential to heal the planet. You see? And so let's do it. I remember talking to the Sapati. I said, why do you think that isn't done? And he was like, I don't know. And I said, I'll tell you why it's not done. Very simple. Kali Yuga. You know? It's very interesting that Lord Krishna came here to bring about Kali Yuga. You would think, well, if he's God, why would he want to bring about Kali Yuga? You know? But it's a natural cycle. So what's going on with all the suffering in the world is part of a natural cycle. We inhale and we exhale, and so does the universe, you know.
You said Triparty. Can you explain who is Triparty?
He's a Stapati, SK. He was with Ganapati Stapati. People heard of Ganapati Stapati. He was a devotee of Ganapati Stapati. His name is Vishwakarma, you know, just like the Vishwakarma, who's the Vishwakarma cosmic architect, like that.
He is still in India?
Yeah, SK. We work with SK. He designed this temple, and he's helping us design the next temples.
Where he is in India?
South India, I don't know. South Chennai, yeah, he's in Chennai.
And he is representing one of the temples there?
He's what?
He is representing one of the temples there?
He's built temples all over India. Yeah, all over India. And he helps with temples in the United States, you know, like that. But see, according to him, none of them do the whole thing. See, it's a lot. To build a Vastu temple properly, and every detail and all like that, it's not so easy to do. You know.
I
Yeah, it's precision with the ceremonies. Yeah, it's not just the architecture; it's also the precision with the ceremonies. But also, I like to say it's like you can build the perfect violin, Stradivarius, best violin in the world, but that doesn't mean you know how to play it. And so, a lot of what goes into a Mount Soma is being able to run it properly. And I give my master full credit for that because I learned a lot just watching him. But it has to be played properly, and that's an art. You're a virtuoso, huh? You got to be a virtuoso to play it properly. Yeah.
The temples I've been to, and there is an energy to heal the world. Will this be able to transmit to other temples? Say in India,
Uh,
Africa. Could this travel around the world?
yeah, but we're not just going to do it like it's a light that radiates around the planet, though it will have that effect somewhat. But also, it's going to be the communication. Even the pundits, when they came here to install the Kalash, they praised Mount Soma. This is home, they said, and it's a guiding light. And so it'll be an example. And I'm going to be going to India, and we're going to be filming this television show, and that'll be part of it. This conversation right now, we're doing it right now, so we'll reach out in many different ways. Many different ways. As many different ways as we can think of. Articles we write, blogs we write, everything. So it spreads, like that. Yeah. And we'll find other ways. As time goes by, we'll find other ways to bring it out. Yeah. Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about your relationship with your master and how it's evolved over time?
I went to him. I was well, at the time, I was 20 when I first found him. 21. I was 21, and I look back, I was a boy, And so my relationship with him was like a boy. And time goes by, and now I am what I am, and so my relationship changes, In another sense, it hasn't changed at all, I loved him then, I love him now, And I think there's always a part of every individual when there's a love like that you want to be sure that everything you're doing was consistent with his wishes, At the same time, then you move forward with your life, and you do what you need to do, And I must say it means a great deal to me to this day when people come who are close with him and very high up in his organization, and they come and they applaud what I've done and what I'm doing. And it means a lot, because to me it's, affirmation that he's happy with me and with what I'm doing,
Do you conduct classes and other things as well?
Oh, yeah, I teach all the time. I love it. I love the knowledge, I can talk about the knowledge all day, every day. And I do. If I'm not talking, I'm writing. But every day my life is consumed with it, Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, how do you help another person understand their divinity? First, they have to be open, because people, if they're not open, and a lot of people feel, oh, I read a few spiritual books, or, oh, I've been doing, going to temple my whole life, or, I've studied all the scriptures and things, and it's not very easy to get through because they already get it, And so in situations like that, you just have to be patient, and sometimes you have to be like, all right, fine, they're not open, But if they are open, then you, number one, have them meditate do a meditation that by which they transcend, because then, boom, they see it, they find it, they wake up to it within their own being. And then you talk, and the talk goes better. It's like a catalyst. They already have some sense, a little bit better sense of what it is you're talking about. I know my teacher said, I think he once said, yeah, he said, don't even talk to them until they start meditating, because they just won't understand what you're talking about, you know. But you talk, see, you have to be careful, and it's pretty spontaneous for me, but I have caught myself sometime that you don't teach facts. You use facts to help them awaken to what lies deeper within themselves. And that's an art. And I remember years ago, some people were, how good my lecture was determined by how many notes they were able to take, how many facts they were able to. And I was like, no, that's not what this is about. I use facts to open you to a deeper level within your own being. But if you're sitting there writing facts and that's what you think the lectures are about, no. If we're doing that, I'll just give you a textbook, you know. And so I work with, you could say that what I did right now, just in the past hour or whatever, is work with consciousness. Speak to people's consciousness. Speak in a way that opens them to a deeper level of understanding within their own self. You see. I used to, the way this, I kind of brushed over this, but the way this all started, in a way, was when I was in the ashram and meditating, I felt so full. I talked about that. But another part of what I felt so full of is all this energy started pouring into my body. And it was like unbearable. But I realized if I held out my hands and kind of pretended like I was letting it out into the room, then I could stand and meditate in this flow of energy, you know. And but I didn't want to, I thought it would look weird if I meditated with the group. So I started meditating in my room. And then one day after meditation, they came and somebody knocked on my door, I forget, and they walked in. And they looked and they said, what is going on in here? And then bunch of other guys from the ashram walked in and looked around, and all this like twinkly light, and they could all feel it, and they were all really moved. And I realized it's healing energy, you know. And so when I went out and taught, I also healed, you know. It's a skill that you can teach, but I stopped trying to teach it because people wanted to learn technique. You know, how do I do it? Step 1, step 2, put your hands here, put your hands there. That's not it. You start with being. And then from being, you go to merging with the person. And it's not about the doing. Being, merging, then you know what's going on with them. And then the doing just happens. But they all came and wanted to learn how to do. And so I just stopped teaching. I thought, you know what? If I teach people how to be, then if they want to be a healer, they're a healer. You see? So it's like that. Being, merging, knowing, and doing. That's true in all aspects of life. Don't try to figure out how to do. Get established in your own being, then merge with whatever it is you're dealing with, come to know it, then you'll know what to do. See, like that. Okay, I think we're finished. Very good. Very good. It's fun. Yeah, so create something beautiful. Yeah.